Hello, fifth grade, and welcome to the fourth math lesson this week. Today, we're going to be working with toucan fraction number 4. Toucan number 4. And we're still going to be working with the idea of subtracting. But now, we're going to be subtracting mixed numbers. And you might say, hey, we did that on the third lesson. Yep. But now, the top number is actually going to be a whole number. So because it's going to be a whole number, that is going to be required that we regroup. All right, here's what I mean. Let's look at our first example. Let's take a look at 9. Subtract 1 and 7/16. All right, now remember what we learned last lesson. When I'm subtracting, I don't change the denominator. But here's the thing. 9 and what? There's no denominator up there. This is what's called regrouping. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. 1 and 7/16 is not the problem here, so I'm going to keep that the same. The problem is 9. There's no fraction next to it. So here's what I can do. How many 16ths make a whole? I want you to imagine your rainbow fraction chart. And if you had your rainbow fraction chart and you broke it up into 16ths, how many of those pieces would you need to make a whole? Well, you'd need 16 of them. So let's write 16 over 16. Now, 16/16 equals 1 whole. And I borrowed that 1 from this 9. So if I'm taking 1 away from the 9, what's 9 take away 1? Well, that's 8. So I rewrite the problem to say 8 and 16/16. That means the same thing as 9. Now that I have a like denominator, I can go ahead and I've already regrouped. That's what this is called when I'm writing 16/16. Now I can go ahead and subtract. So, like what we learned last lesson, I don't change the denominator. It's going to stay 16. I now subtract the numerators. 16 take away 7 is going to get you 9. And now I've got 8 subtract 1, and I get 7. All right, now I've got to ask myself, can I simplify? Is there a number that can fit inside of 9 and 16? If you're having trouble visualizing that, I want you to go ahead and pull out your multiplication chart. All right, so you got your multiplication chart. I'm going to write the answer we got up here, 7 and 9/16. And if you're having trouble visualizing what can fit inside of a 9 and a 16, remember, go over to the 9 row, or column I mean. Circle 9, circle 16. Uh-oh, 16 isn't there. That gives me a clue. Let's look, is there any other row where there's 9 and 16? Let's look, where is there a 9? Here's a 9. Is there a 16? No, there's a 15, that's not a 16. Is there another one? There's not. So that means 9/16 is simplified. And 7 and 9/16 is going to be my answer. Let's put that to practice with one more example. All right, let's take a look at a big example. We've got 201 subtract 19 and 5/18. I'm going to have to regroup because 201 doesn't have a fraction next to it. So when I regroup, 9 and 15/18 is actually going to stay the same. Sorry, 19 and 5/18 is going to stay the same. 201 is going to be regrouped. Remember, if I have a whole and I break it into 18 pieces, how many of those pieces do I need to make a whole? Very good. You're going to need 18 of those pieces. So let's rewrite it. 18 over 18. Now that took one whole away from 201. So 201 subtract 1 is going to get you, very good, 200. All right, now I can go ahead and subtract. 18ths as my denominator is going to stay the same. My numerator is going to be subtracted. What's 18 subtract 15? Very good, that's going to be 13. 200 subtract 19, what do you get? Well, let's do a little two-step subtraction. Can I take 0, take away 9? Don't say 1. Can't do that. That's 9 subtract. All right. Borrow from the 2. 2 becomes 1. 0 becomes 10. Borrow from the 10. 10 becomes 9. 0 becomes 10. Now I can subtract. 10 subtract 9 is 1. 9 subtract 1 is 8. 1 take away nothing is 1. So now I have 181 and 13/18. So you got to ask yourself, can I simplify 13/18? So take a minute, go look at your multiplication chart. Do you see any with 13/18s? Here's a clue. 13 is a prime number, so it can't be simplified. So that's my answer, 181, 13/18s. All right, put that into practice today on toucan fraction number 4.